hands. This came about through, I always find inspiration through art, and I think art inspires art. This is called the Limbo Café. Many of you have probably visited this cafe before. My eyes dart about as contemplation rings like a fire alarm brings heeds of caution. Analysis paralysis, they say, more like death by 1,000 cuts from the razor blades of opinions, choices, life changes, disappointments, and dare I say the worst cut of all, which is delicately encased in a thought bubble of what will they think? And that is when I find myself at the very vestibule of the one and only world-renowned Limbo Café. Now, you know what I mean when I mean Limbo Café, not this one. The delirious debate between option A, option B, option they, and option thee. With a menu that serves up Michelin star misunderstanding, mismatched moral meat sticks of upbringing fallacies and current realities. And you can't forget the special of the day, choosing casserole confusion with a side of boundary intrusion, and the dessert of the day, molten lava cake of the brain of who am I supposed to be? Welcome to the Limbo Café, where people-pleasing is served up fresh every day. So what does one do when the plates of advice are piling up without being ordered? When everybody's serving opinions, but no one even asked what you were hungry for? What does one do when you're stuck behind the dinner table of forced accusations and generational trauma of delusional layers of life's lasagna? What does one do when the seats of the Limbo Café get filled with louder and louder voices of the patrons voices that swear they know the menu of your life better than you do? The crowd at the Limbo Café always gets packed with expectations, and more opinions get stacked like a bunch of random-sized flapjacks, louder fears disguised as truths. Suddenly your gut, the very thing filled with your hunger and intuition, can no longer get a reservation at your table. Apparently, every stranger's opinion made the VIP list before your instincts did. Many times I find myself at this Limbo Café, submitting, nibbling on approval, sipping on self-doubt, and forcing down dreams that look sweet, but taste of poison. I know they say not to take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with, yet there I am, taking life directions from people I wouldn't even let pick the restaurant for dinner, letting strangers order for me at a restaurant I don't even want to be at. Funny how quickly we hand over the menu and then wonder why we're unhappy with what we're being served, until one day you finally see the meal for what it is, the mold of their missed chances, the seasoning of their fears, the recipe of a life they settled for, and you realize you've been starving while trying to digest the opinions that were never meant to nourish you, no longer willing to water down your truth just to make it easier for others to swallow, because every time you made yourself smaller, you were the one who choked. So what if you left the table? Not because you weren't welcome. Oh, they'll welcome you to their misery. Because you finally realized what you needed was never on the menu. Because you finally realized that at the Limbo Café, you always trim your dreams into bite-sized pieces so they're easier for others to digest, stuck at tables that never had your name reserved. And just maybe, The Limbo Café was never the destination, but merely a distraction, a noisy little corner joint where everyone just kept handing you the ingredients for a life they thought you should cook. Always more salt from fear, more bitterness from doubt, a sprinkle of guilt, and don't forget the garnish of obligation. Meanwhile, deep down, you knew the recipe all along. You knew the ingredients that nourished your peace and which one should have never made it to your kitchen in the first place. And that's it. You stand up from this table that others set for you. Even Jesus flipped a table or two, because at some point you stop asking the Limbo Café what you should order and realize you were the chef the whole time. The heat from the oven of your own choices comes from the fire of your own passion, vision, and knowing. Maybe this life was never about making it digestible for the patrons at the Limbo Café, but finally the only thing this menu is serving is the real you. Not bite-sized, not watered down, not shaped to fit the menu of someone else's cafe, so let them stay at the Limbo Café, debating the specials of the day, spending time asking what they should order while the plates of their dreams sit there getting cold. So get out of the Limbo Café and get yourself back to the vestibule where you heard your own voice before the world served you an all-you-can-eat buffet of the opinions at the one and only world-renowned Limbo Café.